What?
I just Okay, we're back. Yay. Hi, Samuel. Sorry, little technical difficulties there. Oh, man. I am in Winter Park, Colorado. Let's see, a couple of you guys. Sam, you're on there. It is beautiful here. I'm out here. Look at that outside if you can see it. We've been getting tons of snow here for you people joining us. Let me just show you this once more. I'm in Winter Park, Colorado. We're about 10,000 feet up here. That's the Continental Divide. Okay, I was playing a little Maria Carey there to get things started. So I officially play the first Christmas music of the season. Hey, Sean Osby, hello. Yes, I was officially starting the Christmas season. If Costco can have Christmas trees on Labor Day weekend, your Uncle Claude can start doing Christmas music, okay? I love Christmas music, right? But that's not what we're here to talk about today. I want to talk about several things. I want to talk about here. Let's put up a little banner here. I want to basically talk about gut sales, virtual attraction, lead generation, and lease purchasing. I'll get on my little soapbox. I'll share with you this wonderful life. I just left San Diego. I am now back in Colorado. It is sunny. I think I'm going to go powder skiing today. Thank you, lease purchasing. Thank you, gut sales. Thank you, Max, my mentor. Everybody, I've been mentoring people for years, trying to teach them all the stupid mistakes I make so that they avoid them. And also the things that I've done smart, like giving good phone, getting on that phone and learning how to close people in one phone call. My word of honor, sometimes two, never three. Aren't we tired of the manipulation and that, that uncomfortable feeling we get? We're calling people up to do real estate deals, lease purchase deals, and they're either very snippy at us or they're short. Well, why should I work with you? Or you're the 20th guy to call me, or I'm not going to give away my property. What is some of the things they say? It's horrible. So we're going to talk about all that today. I love questions. Let's go to I see some comments already here. Real Estate Wholesalers Club. Let's put him up here. I love you post a question, I'll pop it up here on the video for you guys, okay? Love to talk with you. Anyway, it's sunny and beautiful in San Diego. I left San Diego last week. It was 91 degrees. This morning it was about 5 degrees. Your Uncle Claude took his diamonds are a little frozen, if you know what I mean. It was cold this morning during my outside run, and I am going to go out and do a little powder skiing today after I'm done with you guys. Man, it really feels like the holidays here, but it's not even Thanksgiving. My next broadcast, by the way, will be, let me throw that up here for you, will be on Tuesday, November 26th, same time as today, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. That'll be another 1 hour broadcast. If you want to join me, have any questions I can help you with. Love talking about creative real estate, sales, virtual attraction marketing. These are the 3 things that we need to succeed with. We need the strategies. There's so many wholesale real estate. My friend Joe talks about that. I call it arbitrage. And that's basically where you take a contract that you found and created. It can be for cash. It can be subject to. It can be owner finance. It can be my favorite, lease purchase. I love talking about, I've written several books on lease purchasing. Lease Purchase for the 21st Century, Lease Purchase Bible. Here's a book. I'm going to give it to my mentees. A lease purchase. It's on my webpage. A Lease Purchase Christmas Carol. I don't know. Have any of you ever read this book? If you have, you'll enjoy it. It's about a guy and it's like a takeoff on Dickens's Christmas Carol. And it's this guy goes to sleep and he's awakened by the 3 dead real estate agents of real estate, past, present, and future. Okay. I love and it's a fun story, and it deals with a lease purchase. So that's on my webpage too. But I'm not here to sell you stuff. I'm here to share information. And we can start off. Basically, my name is Claude Diamond, and I love teaching, mentoring people in real estate. You got to let's start with the basics here. You got to have the strategies. My favorite is lease purchasing. It's basically being a smart tenant. Can you control a property can you control a property by renting it and just adding one little magical thing to it, an option? And by the way, everybody always asks me this question: is it lease purchase, lease option, rent own? It's all semantics, guys. It's all semantics. It's the same thing. It's a lease. We know what a lease is. We can lease a car. We can lease a hotel room. We can lease our apartment. We can lease a nice home in a nice neighborhood. Okay. And leases, rents, here, to write this down if you're taking notes. Rents are negotiable. Good morning, David Skulnick. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Good morning. Appreciate that. I love when you say that. Thank you, David. You have any questions? Feel free to jump on here. Be glad to answer them. The lease purchase just gives me the control without the investment and the liability. When you buy a property, you got to go to the bank, you got to qualify, you got to put 10, 20, 30% down, a lot of money, especially if those of you who live in expensive markets, New York, California, parts of Texas are getting expensive now. Chicago, nice sections up there, Skokie and all those other areas, nice parts of Chicago by the water there, very expensive. You got to put down a lot of money. You have to qualify. And then you have to pay taxes, insurance, homeowner fees. What else? Oh my God, landscaping. Some properties I've owned, I've had to pay 2 homeowner fees. All these monies go out. What can a smart tenant do? My mentor, Max, said the tenants are smarter. Tenants are much smarter than investors. And that's the thing. Can you control a property by renting it and then living it in yourself? I'm in a nice home here in Colorado. I rented it first, then I bought it. Easy. I wanted to know if it was well built, if I like the neighbors. Do they have a pit bull training school next door? Is it, do I want to live in a place that gets 300 inches of snow already? I think they've already had 50, 60 inches of snow here, and it's still mid-November. It's November. I got to pay a guy to shovel my roof. Can you believe it? I got to pay somebody hundreds of dollars to go on my roof and shovel it because the roof can only hold so many feet of snow. That's how bad it gets here. So let's talk about lease purchase. Gives you the control without the investment and the liability. You negotiate like a investor. You get the best deal. You want the best price. You want the lowest rent, the best purchase price or option price, strike price, we call that. We want the longest lease. I like leases 3 to 5 years on the property. You can negotiate if your jurisdiction allows it. Check with your attorney. You can negotiate rent credit and things like that. All different kinds of things within a lease purchase. So you negotiate like an investor, but you finance like a renter. What's a renter put down? First and last. When I rent to own a property, I like to put down 1 to 3 months of prepaid rent rather than a heavy deposit. Deposit sits there. It's dead money. Here's your tip of the day. If you can do prepaid rent, you go, Mr. Seller, I'll give you 3 months rent up front right now so that November, December, January, February, they're all paid for already. We get off to a good start. I'm looking for an investment property. I'm ready to do business today. Can we move forward? And I'd like to have the opportunity to also purchase your property in the next 2-3 years. Can we do business today, or should I get off the phone? Should I leave you? Boom. Right to the point there. We have some questions here. I have your book, How to Sell with Guts. Can't wait to complete with it. Guts, that was, thank you, Sam. That book, and it was my second, actually my first book was The Mentor Teaches Success. And that was kind of a little fact and a little fiction. Again, there was a guy in there and he's having trouble selling and he's got a mean old boss and everything. And I think that was me at one time. And he meets this wonderful mentor who just takes his head off his shoulders, shakes all the pardon the language shit out of it and puts it back on. And he taught me how to sell. And that book is about principles of success, real principles of success, common sense. If your life sucks, it's your fault. That's what's in The Mentor Teaches Success. Then I got people really like that book. I wrote my next book. I wrote Lease Purchase for the 21st Century. I wrote the Lease Purchase Bible. Then I wrote The Mentor Teaches the Gut Sales Method. That's probably one of my best-selling books. And that's also a novel, a lot of truth in it, about a guy who, once again, has trouble in sales. And he's the worst salesman in the company, and he wants to change his life. And that's really my story. I got into real estate. I read all the books. I went to all the seminars, and I got all the motivation. What do they give you? Motivation. In some cases, they make you walk on hot coals, and you get a hot foot, and you spend a couple $1,000s. But why are we in business? We're in business to make money today. Dave Skolnick, I have your book, How to Sell with Guts. Can't wait to come. Oh, that was Sam. Excuse me. Let's go on. Chihuahuas are more vicious. Yeah, okay. I don't know exactly what you mean by that. We got some more there. Oh, Michael Buckles is in the room. Michael's one of my star students in Atlanta, Georgia still. He's a New York. He's a transplanted New Yorker like me. Hi, Michael. Michael is from the Bronx. I'm from Manhattan. I climbed the wall, came into California and now Colorado. And next week, on Monday, I'm going to be in North Carolina. Any of you folks out there in anybody going to be out in Pinehurst, North Carolina? That's my next stop. Go to the house out there. Love it's golf capital here. So I'm going to ski here today, and then I'm going to go and play some bad golf. I'm a horrible golfer. I'm the worst. I've had lessons and mentors in golf and everything like that, and I still suck. So there's just some things you can't fix, right? Michael Buckles let's put this out. Michael's one of my star students here. Made close to 300 calls using Mojo. I got 6 appointments set up this week. Good for you, Michael. It's all about the conversion. It is. You got to find the strategies. You should have a handful of strategies ready, willing, and able. Okay, so when you go to somebody on the phone, you say, gee, why Why is that? Why isn't that house sold? Would you like to sell that house today, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect? I'm ready to make you an offer today, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect. These are pattern interrupts. I go right to the beginning. I go right to the heart of the matter when I'm talking to people. I skip the intellectual, hi there, just reaching out, saw you're at. They've heard that before. It's boring. Don't do it. They're ready to reject you hard because they've had too many garbage phone calls. You've got to get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Go right to it. Even tell them, say, hey, look, I'm ready to make an offer to you today. Would you like to do business today, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect? Why are you selling that home? I have John and Mary right now who just contacted me. They'd like to give you your asking price on the home. Would you like to do a contract and get full price for your home today? John and Mary need about 18 months before they can buy your home. They're pre-qualified, and I'd like to do a rent to own with you and a contract between you and me. And then I'd like to sandwich Lisa to John and Mary. Can we make that happen? Or how about this? How about I teach you how to do a rent to own? And you don't have to deal with me. You don't want an investor in this? I respect that, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect. How about I give you John and Mary? I refer them to you, but I charge you a consulting fee instead. Did you just hear what I said? Off the role play, ladies and gentlemen. This is a consulting strategy. Nobody talks about. I'm going to talk a lot about that. By the way, on Tuesday, I'm going to be in North Carolina, as I said, and I'm going to be talking about consulting a great deal on Tuesday. We're leaving too much money on the table. There are too many deals out there where we don't want to touch the property. The numbers are wrong, the logistics, the geography, too much repair. Why not make money consulting in real estate? I'm going to talk a lot about that on Tuesday. This is one of the niches that I don't think any of the gurus talk about consulting in real estate. Listen, if you've studied wholesale real estate, or you're a realtor and you know the marketplace and somebody wants to sell it on their own, hey, I can help you. Or how about if you're a lease purchase consultant? I love going to people, well, what's a lease purchase? Imagine for a moment, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, you could sell your home, get full price, get great tenants in there who will pay on time, who will do all the maintenance and not bother you on Super Bowl Sunday, and are pre-qualified to buy your home in the next year, the next 6 months, the next 2 years. So imagine you could do that. Is that something that you wouldn't be interested in that, would you? I can help you do that. My name's Claude Diamond. I will charge you a consulting fee. I will provide you with the paperwork. I will network you with my mortgage lenders, my attorney, my realtor, if you like, and I'll save you a lot of time. And I will consult with you on how to market a rent to own on your own. Is that something you're interested in? Boom, you just made a flat fee. Do you know how cool that is to go upstairs to your wife, say, honey, I just got paid for my time, knowledge, and energy. You know, all those gurus, all those seminars I went to, I'm putting it to work right now. Is this good shit, guys? Because this is the stuff I'm going to teach next Tuesday, okay? So that's enough. That's like the one potato chip I just gave you, okay? Forgive me. But I love talking about all these different the aspects of the deal. Let's say, Beacott Studios. He's a big dog clock. Thank you. Thank you. We got another question here. Let's see. Lee White, good question. How do you present a cooperative assignment to the seller? Okay, let's define a cooperative agreement. Let's talk about that. You get a lot of people, you call them up, you're doing your marketing, you're talking to people, and a lot of sellers say to you basically, how do I know who you're going to be putting in this property? How do I know they're not going to trash it? You hear this stuff, don't you? And the amateur salesperson will say, oh, no, don't worry about it. You can trust me and everything. That doesn't work. They don't know you that well. That's why I always talk so much about familiarity, developing that rapport, bonding, getting them to know you, doing pattern interrupts, stroking and nurturing. Let me make a note of that. Stroking and nurturing, we should always talk about those psychological triggers, right? So let's get back to that excellent question from Lee White. When you have somebody who says, how do I know I'm trying to sell it myself. I have a realtor. How do I know who you're going to put in the property? A cooperative agreement means just what it says. You put a paragraph in your contract. And this, by the way, these are in my real estate contract packages. For those of you who've bought my packages or my mentees, this is in the lease purchase contract package. And you guys, I'm going to drop you a little clue here. For those of you who are new to me or don't have my materials, make sure you hit the subscribe button on YouTube or Periscope or Facebook on my Facebook page. A little bird told me there might be one of the best Black Friday specials I've ever done. Just a little clue here. Maybe. Okay. I'll think about it, right? You're not allowed to think about it, Claude. When you're negotiating with the prospect, then they bring up an objection. You say, you know what? Suppose, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, that before I put the tenants in, it is subject to your approval. Can you put that in a contract? Yes, you can put anything. I'm a recovering attorney. I got a degree back there somewhere on the wall. Okay. World doesn't need another attorney, does it? Okay. I like this business. This is much more fun to be a real estate investor, a gut sales trainer, than it'll ever be to be an attorney. Okay. Sorry for my attorney friends out there. I hope I didn't insult you. But anything objection that the seller brings up, you can put in the contract. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I'll introduce you to the tenant buyers, the potential prospective tenant buyers. I will give you their credit report. I will verify their employment, and you can meet them or interview them. And subject to that, we will then do the deal. Can we do a contract today? That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, and this is a little trickier and a little more complicatedly, this is called the right of first refusal. We dealt with this. I do a group call every Monday with all my mentees. I'm in 18 different countries, and we do every Monday at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Eastern time. We do a 1-hour group call. And I talked a lot this week about the right of first the right of first refusal. Basically, what that means is if you get for instance, you contact the seller, and that seller says, well, I have it already listed with a realtor. I'm trying to sell it myself. That's fine. Wouldn't you like more people to help you sell your home? Could we do a contract, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, where if I get a buyer, I will contact you, and if you want to go ahead and do the deal without me, that's fine. You can do it. But if you refuse me, I can go ahead and do the deal. Or if you get somebody, you have to contact me, and I have a right to go ahead and do the contract. Do the contract before you do yours. This is basically a right of first refusal, which you could put inside a contract, and it gives you a little. It's better than nothing. Okay, so this way, if you find somebody before I do, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, you go ahead and do the deal. If I find somebody before you do, I do the deal. That's a right of first refusal. So if they don't have somebody, we go ahead and do the deal without them. There's so many different things we can put in contracts to protect ourselves. So at least we have our toe in the door with people. Todd Dudley. Hello, Todd. How are you? Excellent. Glad you're here. Trell is here. How you doing, Trell? Good to see you. Good morning, everybody. Here in beautiful Winter Park. Let me show you that outside. Can you guys see that out there? Look at all that snow. That is winter wonderland out there. So the strategies are important. You've got to have a good strategy. I think you need at least 4 or 5 strategies. The best strategy is obviously cash. Cash is king. If you've been in this business for a while, hey, it is a nice view. Thank you. Let me see. I don't know how it's going on your screen, but I'll leave it like that for a while. The thing about it, yes, we have the Continental Divide right outside here right now. It's this beautiful. And you know, how did I get to a view like this? I did a lot of real estate. I did a lot of sales training. You got to be super. Here's a takeaway moment, guys. You want a view like this? Let me show it to you one more time here. This is looks like a Christmas card out here today, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Woo! I'm going to get some moose in that backyard. How do you get a view like that? How do you get into a house free and clear like that? You become superb at sales. You specialize in an area of real estate. You have a lot of fun while you're doing it. You work from home. Imagine for a moment working from home, talking to people with problems, buyers, sellers, investors, using the gut sales method, asking questions, no scripts. Do I need to say that anymore? I've been saying that. I know a lot of you have heard me. No scripts. Why? The scripts are mechanical. You get those people who call you at dinner time and you know they're reading a script. Talk to me like a human being. Make it real. Make me feel special. So no scripts, no premature presentations. Do you suffer from the agony of a premature presentation? None of that, because you don't know how to sell this guy yet. Here's the beauty of the gut sales method: agenda, qualification, close. You have your strategies ready, you have your marketing ready, and now you know how to talk to people comfortably. If you can get on that phone and have what I call adult to adult nice conversations, just regular conversations like you and I are having right now, and you talk to people normally. You know what does everybody want? Everybody wants, they want to do business. They want to talk to somebody they like and trust. Okay. Read Dr. Cialdini's book, The Psychology of Persuasion. It's one of the best books out there on actually persuading somebody, getting them over to your side. What do you want people to say about you when they get off the phone? I like him. I like her. I feel like I can trust them. I want to do business with this person. If you can do that magic on the phone, guess how much easier it is? Guess how many more deals you will do? I want you guys to do deals every month, every week, all different kinds of deals. They're all out there. We got some good stuff here. Be the solution. And this is from Dr. Vibe is in the building here. How you doing, Doctor? This man is wonderful. I've been on your show, Doctor, at least 2 times. This man is controversial. He is the David Susskind of the 51st state. This is where I get into trouble, right, Dr. Vibe? Beautiful California, Canada. What am I saying? Beautiful Canada. I almost moved you to California and Colorado, Dr. Vibe. Dr. Vibe, put your link in there so people know where to find you. This man does the most wonderful interviews, and they're real. They're honest interviews. You get some remarkable people. This is how I learn things. I listen to other people, other experts, other interviews. And Dr. Vibe has a wonderful podcast. Also, my good friend Tashi, Dr. T, social media, Mediascope. That's it. She's wonderful too. He says something very interesting here, Dr. Vibe. Conversations lead to conversion. I'm a shy guy. Okay, this is why I fight so hard to be a big mouth. The El Grande de Boca here. Okay, the big mouth. But deep down inside, this Linus sucking his thumb with the blanket over his head. Honestly, I fight every day to keep that kid deep, dark, and down inside. He sneaks up every now and then. Were you ever self-conscious in sales? Sales is the $1 million skill. It is the most important skill to be successful in real estate or anything else. You could know your lease purchase, your wholesale real estate, your simple real estate, all that stuff. But if you can't get on the phone, I've never done a real estate deal without speaking personally to another person. You've got to talk to people. Okay, you can text, you can fax. Does anyone fax anymore? I've got fax machines in all my houses, and I'm basically door stops right now. You've got to learn to talk to people. And you want to get them to respond to you. You want to get them to talk to you. They'll share. If you speak the right way to people, if you ask the right questions, you can sit back and just relax. You can have fun. You can turn the prospect. This is important. Takeaway moment. You can turn, with the gut sales method, the prospect into the salesperson. They will tell you about their needs and greeds, their motivation. They will qualify themselves for money, or if they own the house or whatever you're looking to do business with. They will tell you exactly how to sell them if you're a good listener. Okay? And all you've got to do is then repeat or parrot back. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I understand what you're saying. A lot of people have that problem. You bought another house. You have this house. It's sitting empty. You're worried about vandalism. It's costing you money every month. You'd like to not worry about this house. And asking favors. Suppose there was a way I could help you with that financial burden, get rid of it today. Suppose I made you an offer to purchase your house, to rent to own your house, or maybe you'd like to carry the mortgage and make more interest than the bank is willing to pay you on that house. I can send you a contract today. Is that something we should talk about, or should I get off the phone and leave you alone? You pick. It's okay to fire me. Boom. This is gut selling that I'm talking about right now. It's a different way of selling. It's getting the conversation leads to the conversion. I'm stealing from you, Dr. Vibe. What else do we have down here? We're getting good questions. What Claude is saying does not just work in real estate. It works in life. I practice talking to strangers. Your mom said the same thing my mom said, right? Hopefully she still says it. You know, my mom's been gone 30 years. Do you know she's still in my head? Isn't that amazing? That this wonder, my first love of my life, right? Everybody's first love, their mom, right? I mean, I'm not denying biology here. And this wonderful woman who's been gone from my life over 32 years now, you know, and I still think of her every day, and she still yells at me every day. Mom, you can hear this? She's still in my head. How do they do that? How do those moms get you? I hope your moms are still around. God bless them. But you know, those things they taught you, those things they yelled at you just to make you a better adult, better human being. They're right in there, aren't they? A quick little story. I'm in the airport. I'm late. I'm flying business and everything. And I'm doing the, oh God, who remembers the O.J. Simpson Hertz commercial where he's running in the airport, okay? Had a different meaning then. Anyway, I was running the airport. I was like, old lady, really old, big bag of luggage. And she says, could you help me? I can't move this. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm late for my flight and everything. And I turned around and boom, Mom went right in my head. She said, I raised you better than that. You helped that all. I didn't have a chance. Here I am, a grown man, educated and everything. And she's in my head controlling me. That's so important to understand how we think and breathe. I had to turn around. I helped her with her bag. And you know what? Karma works. I made the flight. It was delayed anyway. It was delayed an hour. Had time to have a drink and everything else. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Absolutely. The Hertz. Yes. What does it say here? Claude, what were we before we met? Strangers. Now we're friends. You know, I'd love to meet you someday in person. Do you ski, Dr. Vibe? You know, or do you play bad golf? We'll find a way to get. In what is it? In February 15th in San Diego. I will be speaking at the SDCIA, the San Diego Creative Investors Association, and I'll also be doing a Saturday seminar on the 15th. I'm speaking on the Wednesday before. It's the biggest real estate club in San Diego. They invite me back every day. Thank you, my friends at SDCIA, San Diego Creative Investors Association. And I'm doing a Guts. Don't tell anybody, but I'm going to talk about Guts 2.0. Okay. It's February the 15th. January, I'm going to be in Hawaii. We're doing a seminar in Hawaii too. It's busy life. I really enjoy it. Well, let's see. Congrats, OJ, hurdling suitcases in the run. Does it? It definitely has new meaning then. You know, we all loved OJ in those days, didn't we? He's talk about playing bad golf, right? Congrats on the speaking. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Vibe. We have a lot of. I'm glad people asked me to speak. I have a lot of fun with audiences. I don't run to the back of the room and say, "Oh, first 10 people." And I think that stuff is corny, and it's just not my style. It really isn't. I like to get in front of an audience and speak the truth. First thing I say in front of an audience. You guys are ready? If there are kids in the room, take them away because I don't want to offend anybody, okay? First, when I speak in front of an audience, and public speaking is a great marketing tool, by the way. I do public speaking at least once or twice a month in front of audiences. First thing I say to the audience is, ladies and gentlemen, do you want guru bullshit or do you want the truth? You pick. And then they say, no, give it. I said, I can give you the guru BS if you want, but I'd like to tell you the truth. How you can work from home, how you can become superb at sales, persuasion, influence, how you know what other people are thinking and feeling. If you can do that, can you imagine how much money you can make in business? Thank you. Tuesday is Dave, thank you. Tuesday is the speaking gig in San Diego, Tuesday and Friday. I think it's the 12th, February 12th. And Sean's there and everybody else is here. Good. You have questions, glad to answer it. So let's get back to the basics here. You need to get to the strategies. You need good contracts. I have a multitude of contracts that I have designed with my custom features in it. One of the things you need in a good lease purchase contract, do you know, here, trivia question. Who knows what is the most important paragraph to have in a lease purchase agreement? I know there's a little bit of a delay here, but type it in if you got. I'm monitoring right now YouTube and Periscope. I don't know why, but we're having a little trouble with Facebook today. I don't seem to see many Facebook people on here. We are on. Okay, what is the most important thing to have in a contract, any contract? Subject to owner finance, lease purchase, assignment clause. Very good. Sean Wasby wins the no prize. An assignment clause. And the clause goes basically the ability to sublet, transfer, or convey your rights in this contract to a third person. Most important. A lot of gurus and educators out there say just put in where you put your name, put and or assigns. That's okay, but I'd rather have a specific paragraph so nobody can ever come back to me. I didn't know what that meant. Well, here's paragraph 18. I can take that property. I can live in it because it's a rent to own. I can live in it for myself. By the way, you ever find a house that you want to check out, or you're not ready to buy it, or you're waiting for the best financial rate mortgage? Rent it and live in it, but get an option to purchase. Protect yourself. If you want to take that property and sublet it, you're paying $1,000. You know you can get $1,800 and put $800 a month in your pocket while the owner is paying the mortgage, the taxes, has to do the repairs. You know what? You can make a lot of money subletting properties with a lease with an option, or just a lease with the right with the assignment clause in it. Not too hard. You can take that same property. You can sell it. You can take that contract and sell it to another investor. Or you could sell it even easier and get more money retailing it to a family, to an individual. Hey, John and Mary, I know you're renting an apartment. I have a 3-bedroom condo right now with a 2-year lease and an option to purchase. And you have to, and your portion of your money will go to a deduction, a purchase price of the property. You can move in today and you can buy it anytime you want in the next 2 years. You don't have to stay in that apartment. Would you like to buy this contract from me? I'm calling a lot of people on my list. Boom, sell the contract. They pay the owner directly. You're out of the deal. One contract. You sell it to the tenant buyers, you're out of the deal. Nice and simple. If they don't have, say you sell how much should you sell it for? 2.5% to 10% of the purchase price. Is it $1 million home or is it a $100,000 condo? Let's say you have a nice little $150,000 condo. You have the contract. You sell it for, let's say, $7,500. Is it worth $7,500? Maybe you'll negotiate. Maybe you'll get $6,000 for it. Okay. You found the property, you negotiated the deal, you put it in a contract, you sold it. You didn't have to go to the bank. You didn't have to do all the heavy duty marketing. You just sold it to another person and they have a house to live in now. Is it easy? Yes. All you've got to do is learn how to put that assignment clause inside the agreement. And so you can wholesale. Some people call it wholesaling. I call it arbitrage. It's basically you do the contract, but you have the right to sell it. You're not representing anybody. You're not practicing real estate. Be careful on that. If you want to represent other people, make sure you have a real estate license or you have a realtor involved or a lawyer involved in the transaction. Don't act like a realtor. Act like a private investor, or even better yet, a consultant. Something we're going to talk more about on Tuesday, by the way. Same time as today, I'm going to talk about consulting in real estate. So the right of assignment, absolutely the most powerful thing you need in all your agreements, because then you can do all these different, you have so much versatility, so much flexibility. Let's see. Lee White, do you still do rent credits or do you call it seller concessions? You know, you can put any name you want on it. I call it a discount that I will give at the end of the agreement to the I'm allowed, when I'm negotiating with someone, to negotiate the purchase price. So rent credit, for some people, they're a little worried about it with the different legislations in different states and some of the new federal legislation. You can call it a seller discount. You can call it a seller concession. You can just say, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, if you pay every rent on time at the end of this agreement, I want you to negotiate with me for a rent credit, something like that. It's real estate. It's flexible. You can do whatever you want within reason, as long as you can see, you obey the law, of course. Let's, what do we call it? Dave Skolnick says right of assignment. Absolutely. That's what it is. Make sure you have that in your contracts. As the basics of successful change, what a great question. Has the basics of successful sales changed over the years? You know, it's really funny. This is a question. I could do a seminar on this question, Dr. Vibe. Thank you. This is a great leading question. You know how to ask questions. You get that from being one of the top interviewers in Canada. Um, in the old days of sales, we basically tried to get on, and they still teach this today. This is what drives me crazy. I don't think, 2020 is the same as 1956, okay? In those days, we knocked on doors. Some of you still knock on doors. I'm not going to diss you on that. I just think it's better use of my time, frankly. I'll talk a little bit about more productive marketing. We sell differently. People opened their doors in 1956, 1960, even 1970. People don't open their doors anymore, do they? People don't read newspapers and magazines like they used to. They don't watch regular TV. They watch cable TV or live streaming. How many of you subscribe to Disney and Apple and Netflix and stuff? We're in a different world today. We have to sell differently. We're smarter today. Okay? The question I ask myself every day is, why should someone buy from me? Did anybody wake up this morning and said, hey, I'm going to call up Dr. Vibe or Claude Diamond and give them a shitload of money? No. You have to earn it. And you have to go to people and say, and you have to make it emotional when you ask questions. We sell today based on science and art, the science of persuasion, learning the psychology of why people buy, how to make them emotional, how to make them want to buy, being empathetic. There's a big word there, empathy. What are they thinking? What are they feeling? Okay. The old days of selling were the numbers game. Have you all heard the expression? And this goes way back in some, knock on enough doors, knock on 100 doors. And if 100 people say no, walk into the sunshine and knock on another 100 doors. That's tiring. And let's talk reality. Can I tell you the truth, guys? Or you want me to make you feel? I'll tell you the truth. When I get a lot of rejection and I knock on a lot of doors or make a lot of phone calls in the old days and I get rejection, I don't like rejection. It affects my ego, my id, my super ego, how I feel as a man, how I feel as a provider for my family. In all honesty, truth time, how do we sell and make all those damn phone calls when we have people rejecting us all the time? I cry at Disney movies, okay? Oh, Bambi's mother died in the fire. Oh my, listen, I wear my heart on my sleeves. I'm honest with you guys. So you can't sell by knocking on 1 million doors and waiting to get lucky. Okay. It's like buying a lottery ticket. Okay. I know somebody's going to win, but boy, there's millions of people buying that damn ticket. I want better math. What do I mean by better math? Better science. Today, we know why people buy. We know the personality types. I'm a student of transactional analysis, Dr. Eric Byrne. I've talked a lot about it. I'm a student of modern marketing. Why do Marshall McLuhan, a writer in the 60s, wrote a famous book, The Medium is the Massage. Why do people buy? How do we make people buy? How do we stimulate people? How do we get their attention? We know this today. Sales has really changed. I don't want I've been studying successful sales. See, you don't know what you started, Dr. Vibe. Shame on you. You opened up Pandora's box here for me. The thing about it is, I don't want to speak. I don't want to, what Michael said, with all respect. He's doing his mojo dialer. He's doing 400 automatic phone calls. I know a lot of you are still mailing postcards. The only trouble is I have kids in their 20s. They don't go to the post office, okay? I got to call them up and remind them that mom sent them a birthday cake or something or a gift card. So everything's changed. Our marketing has changed. Our medium has changed. We have to sell differently in this environment today. We want to make people buy and make them feel good about it. So we ask questions. We try to get them emotionally involved. We let them we get them to give us the order. Listen to what I said. I want them to give the order. In the old days, it was about regurgitating all these facts and features and benefits and knocking them out. And maybe sometimes they give up and say, okay, just send it to me. All right, I just want to get rid of you. Next day, they call you up and cancel. Is that a heartbreaker? Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me. It sucks. And you know whose fault it was? I'd always go back to my mentor, Max, say, it's their fault. They're bad people. And they were manipulating me. And no, Max used to say, there's another Maxism here. Take the kids out of the room. Max used to always say, There are no bad prospects. There's only shitty salesmen. You didn't get a commitment after the fact, an after sell commitment. You didn't sell them the right way. You threw features and benefits at them instead of making it emotional first and getting a commitment, getting the information, and then going into the intellectual presentation later, and then the after sell. The after sell is basically where you go, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I am so glad we're doing business today, that you're buying my product, my service, my house, my car, my insurance policy. I am so happy that we're doing business today. We came to this decision mutually. We came to it rather quickly today, first phone call. Are you comfortable with this decision, with this commitment? You are? Good. Do you have any other questions for me? Okay. You're not going to, you strike me as a man and woman. You have character. You keep your word. You're not going to call me tomorrow and say you had to change your heart or anything. I don't think you're old school like me. When you give a commitment, you keep it, right? Thank you. Boom. These are the moves that we do today, Dr. Vibe, that we didn't do 20, 30, 40 years ago. Okay. I don't need to call hundreds of people. I just need a few people every day. I call it my rule of 5. Can I speak to 5 prospects today? Speak. Not text, not mojo dial, not mail post. Can I speak to 5 people a day? I run a very successful business sitting on my butt or on my treadmill in different houses in different parts of the country by just using this grande boca here. Okay, this big mouth, but using it in the right way. Learning how to speak to people, not bullying them, not intimidating them, being their doctor. You go see your doctor. You guys know my analogy on this. The doctor doesn't sell, oh, we're having a special today on our hernia operations. Hop on the table. You see our coupon? Doctor, you don't want to go to a doctor like that, do you? You want to go to somebody who's going to give you value and say, hey, why are you here? What's your biggest challenge? What's your problem? Why doesn't this house sell? It's a beautiful home. How come the listing expired? This home should have sold you don't want to sell it today, do you? I'm ready to my name's Claude Diamond. I'd like to make you an offer to buy your home today. I'll give you either price or terms. Then you go into your cash offers, your lease purchase offers, your subject to the existing mortgage offers, your owner finance offers, or if you can't do any of the above, go into the consulting offer that we'll talk about on Tuesday. And if none of those work, you politely fire the prospect. Are we allowed, question for the group, are we allowed to process, are we allowed to fire the prospect? You better believe it. This guts is about working smart. You want to make money in creative real estate lease purchasing, you've got to work smarter than your competition. Yes, I believe in hard work ethic. Oh my God, yes. But I also want you to go to the bank. Why are we in business? Make money today. Okay, we got to work smarter. God gives all people 24 hours in a day. Okay, I think there's one time in the year we get 25. What is it? There's a time change or something, and we get 1 extra hour. I forgot when is it the summer solstice or something like that? Anyway, the thing about it is, what's the difference between someone who makes all the money they want, lives comfortably, pays their bills, is debt-free, mortgage-free, has good health care, good retirement, can pay for their kids' college because they're good kids? What's the difference between that person, a 1%er, and the other 99% that struggle all the time? You want the truth? It's sales. You can be the smartest person in real estate, know all the lease purchase strategies I've talked about today. You can spend a ton of money. I'll tell you that story in a minute on marketing, but can you convert? Can you just communicate with another human being, a stranger, and make them into a friend and a friendly acquaintance? Can you get familiarity with that person? Can you get them to tell you information so you can decide how to sell them? Can you get them so emotionally involved? The $1 million rule. People make immediate decisions emotionally. You've got to make it emotional because they'll make a decision quickly. You'll qualify them very quickly for money, time frame, needs and greeds. Authority figure, who makes the decisions. You get to decide, can I do business with this person? Can I help them solve their problem? Or should I let it go? Do I get in my car and go to properties? Never. Never go to the property. Never get in your car and go to the property unless you're going to pick up a check or a contract. If you don't have a commitment up front, if you don't have the decision maker, if you don't have the hard information, do not dare. Don't you tell me I went in my car and I spent 2 hours in traffic, and then I spent 2 hours looking at his brand new toilet seats, and then he said the magic words, I'll think about it, Claude. Did you make any money? No, you just wasted 5, 6, 8 hours, a God-given day of your life. I want you to work smart. So to answer Dr. Vibe's question, we work smarter today. We understand how human beings breathe. We understand what are the words we use, the way we say our words. How do we tell stories? How do we persuade another person? Guts is something that gives me a system so that when I speak to someone, I work smarter than my competition and I sound different. Absolutely. Well, it's a quick thing about marketing. And let me see if we have any other questions here on here. The thing, and feel free to post your questions in the chat box. I'll be glad to answer them. We have only a few more. What do we got? About 10 minutes left here. I speak to a lot of people every day, and a majority of those people have taken other real estate guru sales training, motivational programs. Okay. What I'm hearing from a lot of them is they're spending thousands. I had somebody yesterday, broke my heart. Nice man, working hard, doesn't want a Lamborghini in the garage, doesn't want to be standing in front of his Bentley or the Rolls Royce, just wants to live like a human being, a little respect, pay his bills, sleep at night. Do you sleep better at night when your bills are paid? You better believe it. Have you ever had a time in your life when money was a little light or short? It's not fun, is it? I've been there myself, so I understand that. But people are spending too much money on marketing. Don't you guys know there's a new invention? It's called the internet. Okay? In the internet, you can market for free. Write that down. The internet allows me to market for free. I think I'm going to talk a lot more about that on Tuesday also. I'm going to be doing another broadcast and talk about consulting and more about marketing. We'll have more time for me to ramble on and answer your questions. And you didn't qualify. What does Sean have here? You didn't qualify on property. I know one of my fears is trying to have all the answers before having a conversation with the seller when I should have the seller tell me what they need. Absolutely, Todd. Okay, what do we end up doing when we do get when we get a prospect on the phone? Oh my God, somebody wants to talk to me. What do? We become this is important, psychologically subservient to that prospect. We're so glad that's why you got to do better social media marketing, okay? And stop spending thousands of dollars on all these mailers and these bad mail lists and postcards and envelopes and VAs that you have to train and rehire and everything. Take responsibility. You know how I built up $1 million business, a successful business? Good phone, baby. Good phone. Get on that phone. But don't be a free consultant, Todd. Turn their questions. Ready for this? Drum roll. Turn their questions into questions. They ask you a question. Well, why should I work with you? I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't. Why are we talking anyway? Why are you selling this beautiful home? Well, I just woke up one day and thought we had to get a smaller home. Well, gee, you just woke up. Why don't you stay in it another 10 years? I mean, you don't really want to sell it, do you? Well, tell you the truth. Boom. To tell you that they say things like that. You've got to turn questions into questions and get them to answer. You stroke and nurture. You'll say, that's a great question, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Glad you brought that up. Now, you must have asked that for a reason. Can you help me out? I'm not really sure if I understand. I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I just don't know what you mean. You say you want to sell your home, but you're in no rush. Do you want to sell it or not? Do you want to sell it now? Do you want to sell it at Christmas? Do you want to sell it next year? What would you like to do with me today? So when they ask you, say, Todd, they ask you a direct question. You stroke it. You say, that's a great question. Glad you brought that up. You can nurture that, nurturing is where you give a compliment with a lot more gravitas, a lot more emotion. You tell a story. You tell a personal story, story of a friend. You make it, nurturing is a stroke on steroids, okay? And so when they ask you a question, you can do, here's another technique. Oh God, I'm giving it all away today. It's called the stop and go technique. They ask you a question. Well, how much do you think, how much do you think I can get for your home? Well, based on the comps in the area, sir, we have properties that have sold. Now, why is that a concern for you? What price would you be comfortable with? Help me out a little. Off the role play. That's called a stop and go technique. It's where you start to answer the question, They start to listen, pay attention, get emotionally involved, and then you turn it in, then you go right away into your question. And hopefully they will give you what you need. You need information. You need to qualify them. You need to know their level of motivation. You got to find motivation, create motivation, or exacerbate motivation. I love that word, exacerbate. It's a $10 word, isn't it? It's a lot of fun. This is an art form, Todd. It took me a long time. What happens is, it's like, and remember, I'm a student of transactional analysis, parent, adult, child. These are the different emotional role plays we do in life and everything. Dr. Eric Byrne, another Canadian Dr. Vibe. And Dr. Byrne said that sometimes we're the child, we're immature, inexperienced. We're just emotional. We want things, Oh, I want that Porsche. Oh, I want that box of Captain Crunch. Do you ever take your kids down the cereal aisle? Okay. Sometimes we're the child, and sometimes or the prospect becomes the parent. The parent can be either very nurturing, not usually, or they can be very critical. Well, I want information from you. I want to know all about this. I have a lot of questions. So they're cross-examining you. Who's in control? Them. You can't sell. You're exhausted. We've all been in those scenarios. We're exhausted. We answered all their questions, and then they say the magic words when they've gotten the information from you, which they're going to go and take and beat up your competition with, because now they're a little smarter and you gave it all away for free. They say, thanks a lot for your time. God bless you. Send me that information. I'll give it my highest review in a week or two. I'll call you back sometime after the holidays. See ya. Did you make any money? No. Greatest sin of all. Guts is about learning to close people in one phone call, get a commitment in one phone call, an appointment, or get out. It's not about bullying people. It is a little bit assertive, yes, but it's assertiveness, and it's in a sense of respect and confidence. You don't want to go to a doctor who says, well, I don't know if this operation is going to work. You want the doctor who says, we're going to fix you. We're going to make you better. No worries. I've done this before. I've got great nurses and assistant doctors. We're going to take good care of you. You're going to be better than new. Boom. What do you want to hear? You want to hear the person with confidence. You want that authority. We love leadership. We love the authority figure. I'm the former biggest chicken shit. When I used to see people and gurus and stuff stand in front of the audience and give those little speeches, those guys who wore those black suits with the white shirt and the red tie, you know who I mean. Okay. I was enamored by those. How do they do that? I couldn't speak in front of two nuns and a Boy Scout, but I learned that you can practice. You can practice sales, you can practice public speaking, and you can get better and build up your confidence. Once you have that confidence, the prospect will respect you so much more. You can do more of those lease purchase deals, those regular deals. You got to say, hey, you got a problem. I want to fix it. I want to make you an offer. I have some ideas for you today. Can we talk about it? Can I ask you a few questions? You ask me a few, and let's figure out how to fix this problem today. Or should I leave you alone? Should I get off the phone? You decide, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect. That's gut selling. That's an agenda. This is the stuff that can get you to where you want to be in life. I love what I'm doing. I got friends older than me. They're all retired. They're living on a pension. Some of them don't have pensions. They're living on Social Security. Guess what happens to your lifestyle when you leave a job and you retire and you're on Social Security and Medicare and all that stuff? You're not going out to dinner, baby. You're not taking trips to North Carolina and things like that. Your lifestyle is diminished. I'm doing something I will do to my last day on the planet, God willing. I love selling. I love sales. You've got to have the passion for sales. You've got to have a sales system, and you've got to fall in love with sales. I love talking to people. I love second best feeling in the world. If you don't know the first, you're in trouble. Sean or Dave will explain it to you in the text area. But the second best feeling in the world, what is it, guys? Come on, drum roll. What is it? Second best feeling in the world. It's making money. It's making money. Spend money, get zero deals, bad return on investment. That was the marketing question. You got to be superb at sales. You get there by practice, learning a simple three-step system, and you use this in your marketing when you're talking to your buyers, your sellers, your investors. Wholesale real estate, lease purchase, subject to. Sales is the skill that's going to get you to the bank today. Marketing, I'll touch on. What else do we have here? Another question. Don't ask about the 2-minute timer. It's a 3-minute timer. 3 minutes, baby. I have this timer. I give it to all my students. 3 minutes. You know what you can do in 3 minutes, right? No, smart. I heard that. Come on. You know, my old joke is it worked on my honeymoon. It should work in business, right? Actually, I had somebody in the audience say, a lady, she said, I made my husband bring 2 of those. The thing about it is, in 3 minutes, can you have an idea? Can you have an idea of whether or not you're dealing with a prospect or a waste of life? Okay, you know, life is short. I hate to say, you know, I want to enjoy every day. I want to be grateful for every day. I want to have enough money to live like a human being, to own up to my responsibilities. And I don't mean living at, you know, these gurus who do these commercials in front of the fancy house and this and that, or on the beach. Remember Tom Vu used to be on the boat, the little Vietnamese man who was on the boat with all the girls in the bikinis on a yacht and everything. Come to my seminar. That's an oldie, 20, 30 years ago, maybe. All I ever wanted to do was put mac and cheese on my table. And I got started in this wonderful business. I had the right mentor. Get a mentor, by the way. Learn from someone who's done it, and learn their mistakes are more important than their successes. And learn how to do this stuff, and you will live happily ever after. I'm going to talk. I promised I'd talk a little bit about marketing. I'm going to go to spend more time on Tuesday. I got to go. We're out of time here. The slopes are calling me. Maybe I'll do a Periscope later today. But marketing can be free. I spend no money on marketing, word of honor. No money on marketing. I put out content in Twitter, in Facebook, on blogs, on my webpage. I do live streaming like this. I've got 1,000 videos on YouTube. I do podcasts. I do public speaking. These are all things that you can do from your home, on your laptop, on your phone. Put out content. Put out your content and put it out honestly. Throw away the filters and try to re-engineer. Write down right now, who is your perfect prospect? What is that prospect looking for? If you're a prospect, what would you look for in the investor, the realtor, the life insurance salesman? What kind of person would you like to work with? What do you want from that person? And set up your marketing with interesting topics, conversations, blogs. If you like to write some stuff. Write some short 600, 300-word articles. If you love to take pictures that relate to your business. If you like the video, do interesting videos that segue to your business. I have a client, Shawnee, Ani, and Chantel, and I recommend. They said, Claude, should we just do? And they're realtors in Phoenix. And should we just do videos on real estate? I said, no, do videos on your favorite restaurants in Phoenix. Sell Phoenix. And then say to people, you know, we love this town. That's why we like to show you all our favorite restaurants. And we also can help you buy or sell your home. We love working with you. And we feel that we do these videos so you learn a little bit more about us and what kind of people we are. Here's our phone number. Give us a call. We answer our own phone. Brilliant, brilliant marketing that they do. And they get the leads coming in for zero cost. It's not that hard. We just make it hard. Okay. So this is Claude Diamond. I'm going to sign off now. And oh my gosh, you guys were great. Thanks for joining me today. I hope did some of this information help you? I hope it did. This is the greatest business in the world. Get the real estate strategies down. Start a virtual attraction business, marketing method. Okay. And also, become superb at sales. I'm going to do another broadcast on Tuesday, November 26th. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to talk about consulting in creative real estate, or any business really, how to take gut sales and use it for consulting. I'm also going to be talking about social media marketing. You guys are spending too much money. I can show you what's the way to be successful in America. Low overhead, high profit. Work smart on the phone. Do social media marketing. You don't need 100 employees. You don't need virtual assistants. You don't need a lot of stuff. You just need to give good phone and have some fun out there on the way to the bank. This is Claude Diamond. Nobody deserves success more than you. Have a great week. Bye-bye. See you Tuesday, okay? Thanks for joining me.